back to American Sunrise. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is time now for today's health news, sponsored by the Wellness Company. Under the microscope today, new research suggests that earlier ADHD diagnosis is linked to better school outcomes. A study of more than 580,000 children in Finland found those diagnosed earlier were more likely to have higher grades, follow a more academic school track, and were less likely to drop out than those diagnosed later. Pediatric guidelines say children with academic or behavioral problems and ADHD symptoms should be evaluated, and school supports can help. All right, a groundbreaking new study shows that there is a safe and inexpensive potential cancer treatment, and it's a drug that many of us already know about. It's ivermectin. This new study shows that individuals who took ivermectin, the parasite-fighting medication that gained fame during the COVID pandemic, along with the drug mebendazole, saw remarkable results in their battles with cancer. This incredibly promising results have many Americans wondering where they can obtain U.S.-made ivermectin and mebendazole, and that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You see and hear from TWC doctors all the time on this network, and you know that their products are the gold standard for keeping you and your family safe and healthy. The Wellness Company is making 100% American-made ivermectin and mebendazole available to RAV viewers at an incredibly affordable price point. Say no to Big Pharma's greed and no to Big Pharma's poisons, and say yes to a company that you can trust to bring you safe, affordable, and effective treatments. If you or someone you love is interested in trying ivermectin and mebendazole, then I urge you to go to www.twc.health/RAV today and order. Again, that website is twc.health/RAV, and make sure to use the promo code RAV to save 10%. All right, let's now bring in the Chief Scientific Officer for the Wellness Company, Dr. Peter McCullough. Thank you for being with us this morning. So, last week, the medical experts at the Wellness Company released a new study regarding the off-label use of ivermectin and mebendazole in the treatment of cancer. The results were overwhelmingly positive. Had there been studies previously that led you to believe that ivermectin and mebendazole would be effective?
Yeah, certainly both of these anti-infective agents have anti-cancer properties as shown in the peer-reviewed literature. Separately, each one of these drugs reduces the proliferation of cancer cells by different mechanisms, drops the ability of the cancer to develop a new blood supply, and actually turns over the cancer cells so they self-terminate in a process called apoptosis. So this is very favorable. This is the first patient-reported outcome study. We have over 200 patients enrolled, over 100 completed the 6-month time frame. And overall, the benefit, the net clinical benefit, was 84% positive.
Wow, that is incredible. 84% of participants having positive results from that ivermectin mebendazole. Wow. Was this across all cancers and all demographics?
It was broadly solid tumor cancer. So the most common in men was a prostate. In women, it was breast. And then the third category was lung, and then there's smaller fractions of others. Now, a third were in remission. They stayed in remission. That's a win. A third had active disease, but it didn't progress. And actually, 16% of patients, the cancers improved. The cancers shrunk. Now, remember, this is on top of surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. So this is an adjunct. But these are phenomenal results. I think this is a green light for the National Cancer Institute to do a large-scale prospective randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial.
Absolutely. Yeah, those results are very impressive. So what is the theory about how antiparasitic drugs like ivermectin could be effective in treating cancer? Are there ways that these drugs interact with the human body that could provide a clue as to how they could combat cancer? How does this actually work?
The mechanisms I've described, they don't directly kill cancer cells, but they dramatically reduce their ability to divide and spread. And so, as the immune system is finishing off cancer cells and then adjunctive chemotherapy, it clearly plays a role. It's probably not their anti-parasitic effects. Now, there are some parasites that directly cause cancer, like liver flukes causing liver cancer, forms of cholangiocarcinoma caused by intestinal parasites, and of course, Burkitt's lymphoma caused by the malaria parasite. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about kind of common cancers that Americans get. So this is an off-target effect of the drug. Patients gave their baseline information, they reported their follow-up information, they let their cancer doctors know they're using this drug appropriately off its FDA label, and the results were very, very gratifying.
Yeah, those results were, like I said, very impressive, those numbers. So why do you think the medical establishment and big pharmaceutical companies have been so uninterested in evaluating these low-cost options, these low-cost off-label drugs like ivermectin? It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. You're urging for more studies.
It's been crawling along in the cancer literature. So Cedars-Sinai, UCLA, has a small ivermectin advanced breast cancer trial. Johns Hopkins is studying mebendazole in brain cancers. Very slow to develop, I think, because the cancer centers have what's called CMS book-to-bill relationships with the drug companies. So the cancer centers make a profit on administering very expensive chemotherapy. They're not incented at all to develop and utilize inexpensive generics, particularly this combination, which is widely available to the public.
So for people who are interested in trying ivermectin and mebendazole, what do you recommend?
They certainly go to TWC and use the promo code RAV, and they enter the system, interact with a doctor online, let them know where they are. The drug interactions will be checked. Provided it's safe, cancer patients can buy ivermectin-Mebendazole, and then, of course, talk to their cancer doctors about how to add it to their treatment program.
Absolutely. And for all of our viewers, that website and the promo code are at the bottom of your screen. Write that down. Make sure to go to twc.health/RAV. Dr. Peter McCullough, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. We have a whole lot more coming up on American Sunrise. Conservatives are pushing back after a Republican congresswoman proposed immigration legislation that critics say would amount to amnesty. We'll break it all down next. Stay with us.